Greetings, good evening, hello. Eric the Red here. I just decided to pop in real quick to give an update on how the mining rig, lovingly known as JANK-ASS, has been performing. It's been going all right. I mean, there's nothing I can do about the price of Bitcoin, but, you know, beyond that, the hardware is operating about as intended, so I can't really ask for anything more than that. An update on that M.2 to USB adapter. I tried for a few hours to get that thing to work, and it just wouldn't. It would run the card, like the lights would come on and the fans would spin, even when they really didn't need to be spinning. But I couldn't for the life of me get it to recognize that there was a card connected. So what I ended up doing was taking one of my 1050s and taking the connectors for that, putting it to the 1060, and then taking that 1050, which is one of the GIGABYTE twin fans, and putting that into my old gaming case so that that can continue to run and everything else in the frame can run as well. My big issue there was actually not related to the PCIe connector or the M.2 connector. I actually ran out of power. All the wires out of my power supply, aside from the Molex connectors, which I'd really rather not use with a graphics card, everything besides the Molex was being used. So I thought about it for a second, and I realized I've got that perfectly good M.2 slot. I can't run another card on it, but what I can do is I can run an M.2 hard drive. An M.2 SSD, I'm sorry. And then that frees up one of the SATA power connectors that I can then use to put that 1050 back in the case. And I know, it's not a advisable, perfect idea to use those SATA power connectors to run a graphics card, but something as low power as a 1050, all my others are running on them, and I'm keeping a very close eye on them. They aren't getting warm, they aren't overheating, the cards are performing flawlessly, and the cards are undervolted anyway, so I so far haven't run into any issues with them. But that one SATA power connector that's going into our SSD is the one thing that I know I can move around to enable me to have all of my cards in the one JANK-ASS case, which is the whole idea to begin with. So that's what I'm going to do. I picked up this 128 gig ADATA 3D NAND M.2 SSD. So this guy is going to go into the M.2 slot. We're going to throw Windows on it. I'm probably not even going to bother cloning the drive. I'm probably just going to install it, re-download Afterburner, and just set all my, and NiceHash, and just set everything how I had it. I know it's probably going to take longer, but I don't want to dick around with cloning software. I'm not in the mood. And this way I can set it, go do something else, and then have my fun with it. But this isn't the only thing that I've picked up to go along with this. It feels like the project that just keeps going and going and is never actually finished. And this next little purchase is testament to that. So since the M.2 to PCIe adapter fizzled out, I saw another piece of equipment that is curious, and some people have tried to use in their rigs, but apparently, according to Brandon Coin, they haven't been doing it right. So what I picked up here is a regular PCIe card, but what it is on the inside, it's got 4 USB 3s. You can see that there. And it just slots it right in normally. And what Brandon was able to do with this, going one at a time, is he's actually able to run 4 cards off of this, off of one PCIe slot. That's pretty amazing. I'm not going to do it, but that means theoretically I could run 24 cards off of the motherboard in the JANK-ASS case. There's no way I'm going to do it, but the option is there, and it affords us a tremendous amount of flexibility and future-proofing. So if I decide to keep procuring cards as they become available and as the prices continue to go down, maybe I'll be able to build something awesome. It's going to be cool. And this is actually built for this purpose, so we'll see if it actually works. And if it does, it's better than that 750 M.2 to USB thing that I found. So, hey, all right. Another thing I picked up for the JANK-ASS case is I've been juggling wireless keyboard and mouse that I use for my gaming rig back and forth, and it's just swapping the dongles around isn't a great thing. So I picked up another one of these Microsoft all-in-one media keyboards. They have the built-in trackpad, and this is just, it's a great little thing for sitting on the couch and, you know, doing your thing. It doesn't use a whole lot of battery, and it only uses one USB, and it's only one thing to lose. Instead of having a separate mouse and a separate keyboard, I got the one, so I can just dedicate this one to the JANK-ASS rig, put the other one back in the gaming machine, then I don't have to shuffle anything around anymore. And lastly, back here in the studio section of my house, of Milhouse Studios, where I do a lot of these videos, we're at pretty much the farthest away that you can get from the router. So my goal initially was to set up the JANK-ASS case back here in the studio, because when this isn't being used, it's just an empty room, and I can let the case fans run and not have to worry about interrupting whatever's going on in the living room with sound like it's doing right now. I tried to set it up in here, and the wireless just wasn't strong enough for NiceHash to be able to run consistently. It's been running in the living room in the meantime just so I can generate those Satoshis, because with Bitcoin below 8,000, I think it's 7,800 and something right now. I'm not even going to share that. It's bad. I want it running in any case, but I want it running back here, and I'm just, while I do work for an ISP, the last thing I want to do is pull Cat 5 in my own house. So what I did is I went to the dark side, for lack of a better term. I have a strong disdain and dislike for most commercial wireless extenders and repeaters. In my line of work, they, more often than not, prove to be a bigger headache than they're worth. But considering my current situation and my environment, I picked up one of these TP-Link RE... The box is empty, I've already set it up. I picked up one of these TP-Link RE200 AC750 wireless extenders, and I figured I had nothing to lose. This was like $30 or $40. All I really needed to do is make the connection back here in the studio a little bit stronger so that the mining rig can run comfortably with a wireless connection, and to also afford us the opportunity to do live streams from here. Be that me doing crypto for the Caffeinated, or me and Rickshaw Tom doing news to the Caffeinated energy drink reviews. So a nice stable connection back here will help make those things possible. So I was able to set this guy up about halfway between where the router is and here. I tried to set it up in this room, but again, the connection being as weak as it wasn't doing me any favors. So we're about the halfway point, and it seems to be running all right. I'll let it go for a few days, and we'll see if it does the job. And if not, then I will know that repeaters and extenders aren't for me. This was it. I just wanted to do a little update on where I am with the rig and how it's going and the things I've picked up and what I'm going to do. So my next big project with this is definitely to get this M.2 installed so that I can get the 1050 that's running in the gaming case back into the main rig and finally have all 6 cards that were purchased for the JANK-ASS case in the case and running and mining simultaneously the way they should be right back here in the studio. So that's the end goal, but for now, it's getting late. I got work in the morning. I'm Eric the Red. This has been Crypto for the Caffeinated. I'll see you later. Stay caffeinated. Stay mining.
Don't cry for me. I'm already dead.